All right, we're live. We're live. Go ahead, Norman. Let it go, man. You seem very eager.
All right. Well, just want to say what's up to everybody. How y'all doing? Um, y'all want to talk about Donald Trump and his insane madness? Cause I don't know, man.
The floor is yours, man. Whatever you want.
All right. Well, I just want to say that somebody needs to impeach him before he starts a world war, because my coworkers are really like, "Oh, Donald Trump is the man. He's doing all this. He's doing all that." I'm like, "Yo, he just threatened the president, the vice president, the guy who runs Mexico." Okay. And then my coworker was like, "No, he didn't. No, he didn't." And I'm like, "Yes, he did." And I'm like, he just insulted the prime minister of Australia. He's alienating all these foreign countries, and it's like, damn, he is going to write a check his ass can't cash. And people are like not believing it at all.
What are you worried about, bro?
What am I worried about? Because we're gonna get fucked up, not him. We are.
By Mexico? Really?
That's what I'm saying.
Not not Mexico per se, but
Australia?
I'm just saying that it creates a ripple effect. You know what I'm saying? So if the U.S. fucks up Mexico, Mexico could turn around, talk to the southern neighbors, and be like, "Listen, we got to band together and go after Trump." Now, it sounds far fetched, I know, but shit can happen. You never know.
South America could get together, and that would pose a threat.
You don't think if they all united against the U.S. they could pose a threat?
No, man, they can't do shit to us.
I think they could pose a serious threat.
No.
Exactly. It
You
doesn't even have to be.
You know what?
It doesn't have to be. It could be something else.
Actually as close to Russia as it seems, no. A U.S. Russia team up would there'd be no threats.
Yeah, U.S. Russia team up, but how many military generals are gonna go with Russia? I mean, think about it, of their own accord. Are they gonna willingly deal with Russia? All of a sudden, they was our enemies. Now they our friends. Come on.
Dad, you don't think that this could hurt us economically?
I don't think Mexico can hold out long enough for it to hurt us economically. They're gonna have to break. They don't have a choice. As an emerging economy, they're gonna hurt a lot more than we are, and they're gonna fold.
I don't know if Americans are strong enough to do this.
We can go a lot longer without their goods than they can without our cash.
And the long-term effect of us doing that to Mexico would be what again?
Well, who's thinking long term anywhere in our government?
So
Exactly. They don't really think long term, do they?
No one. Obama didn't either. No one does. When you get elected president, your main focus is getting reelected in 4 years. The second term is when things actually can happen. Like no one cares about long term at this point.
It's gonna be like an '80s song. We're just living for today, Dad. Is that how we're gonna rock this out?
It's our only option at this point. It's really our only option.
And what about in terms of Australia? Not such a big deal.
Oh, can't hear you. I'll wait till you get home.
Nah.
But Mexico, they really have no leverage in the situation. And it's funny to hear people talk as if they do. Like their president's talking tough. He's not going to be president for long once people start starving to death. It's just
They can create their own food though. I mean, they can create their own food. Let's be real. You know, they got their own farmlands.
I mean, people are leaving the country for a reason.
Yeah, because of the cartels and they ain't getting fair wages.
Exactly. And the government has not been able to wrangle in the cartels at all whatsoever for decades.
Yeah, but like Trump is gonna say, "Oh, go down and take care of them."
Oh yeah, anything Trump says about stopping the drug trade is absolute nonsense. Yeah, that's just pure bullshit.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down there. You know how many white Americans are high on cocaine right now? Come on. Come on, son.
Well,
Come on, son.
The net migration is negative with Mexico.
I don't think, putting the policy through a black lens, I don't see how removing millions of low-skilled workers hurts the black community. Short term.
How it hurts it?
Yeah.
Well, should we be looking to improve the situation, not just maintain the status quo?
I mean, well, the status quo was black people being unable to find work. I think, reducing the number of people looking for those jobs at the bottom by a few million actually is a positive.
You just don't think the jobs are good enough, or?
The jobs themselves, that's a separate issue. As we, talked about last week, you can't expect Americans to work those jobs. That's the real issue, is Americans have to get out there and work those jobs. And the wages have to rise.
If we could, our reliance on the military-industrial complex, do you think that could be a net benefit for the black community?
No. There's too many black people employed by the military-industrial complex, man. Like, that's a jobs program. That's not a defense program.
It really is a jobs program.
We should increase our reliance on it.
I don't even think it's possible to increase it, to be honest. Like, it's absurd how much we spend.
Well, so say our military is what, maybe 1 million people, not including contractors? If even that?
I mean, if we're just gonna
ramp up employment. Let's say 3 million jobs.
What was the I just read a headline. Trump, the final deal was he saved like $600 million on that new jet, like per jet, something ridiculous. Like he saved like $600 million. That's crazy.
You can't go off that number.
Increase the unit number, though. That's how we got the discount. We just ordered more jets.
Just makes me curious as to how much we've been fleeced by these Lockheed and Boeing over these jets.
A lot.
Insane amount of money.
You know what's crazy is that these big budget projects, they don't work. That's what pisses me off. How do you spend $1 billion on something that doesn't work? That's like me going to Germany to the BMW factory, paying $1 million for, and it doesn't work off the lot. It pisses me off.
All right, let me tell you how that happens. I actually did a little research on that yesterday or a couple of days ago. What happens is that they start manufacturing these planes and these ideas before they actually go through all the testing process. So once because what their idea is that they want to get people working so they can keep the funding coming from the government. So basically what ends up happening is that when they do roll out the planes and something goes wrong with them, they got to recall all the fucking planes and do it all over again, because at the same time, they're still building them after fucking bug what's it called? Bug shooting.
Huh.
And that's how they do this shit.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Insane waste.
Exactly. Pretty much is what it is.
God
bless the government.
Yeah, I work for DHS, but I ain't gonna tell you where exactly, but it's a lot of bureaucracy bullshit that I'm dealing with right now, and I'm trying to get out of this.
You're in Homeland Security? What?
So how was that Muslim ban?
How did you talk about it?
Give me some intel.
Talk about it.
No. I'm not like a high level worker. I'm just a grunt.
Oh, we know.
I'm just a grunt. I'm just a grunt, and it's like,
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this: what's the general temperament, the general mood where you work about the Muslim ban?
They gotta love it.
I mean, I don't work at JFK, so basically everything where I'm at, it's like it's like, damn. As long as it doesn't affect me, but it will affect us sooner or later. So it's like, damn. Do you really have to deal with this bullshit? It's bullshit. You know, a lot of us are like, this is bullshit. You know.
So most people at your job view it negatively.
Yeah, but it's like we, because you know it's funny. It's a lot of black workers. So I think a lot of the black workers know it's bullshit. But a lot of these Trump, like we have a lot of Trump supporters that work with us, and they're white. So we kind of keep the peace. And we don't tell them it's bullshit because we don't want to deal with no issues. But it's like, yeah, we know it's bullshit. We're just following orders, but we don't want to follow orders. But, you know,
so what you're saying is the white workers support it, and then the black workers don't.
I think a lot of the white workers are, how would I say this? They're like.
They want it to work for Homeland Security.
They're supporting it. They're supporting it. But at the same time, it's like they don't care because they're white. So it's like it's just another day to them. You know what I'm saying?
Checking that privilege. Okay, I got you.
Something like that. I kind of stay away from politics with them. And it's like I got one coworker now I'm cool with, but he's a real big Donald Trump fan. I just be side-eyeing him all the time. I be like, I can't rock with you, dude. I'm like, yo, you be seeing some off the wall shit about Donald Trump. I be like, yo, you are fucking crazy. You know we going to hell with this motherfucker. You going first. I'll put you in front of the line. When the bullets start coming, you going in front of me. Okay? Black people not gonna be your bullet shields no more. Okay.
Let me get into some specifics. What is it specifically that you think Donald Trump should be impeached for right now?
Okay. As far as I know, I think that the whole Chicago thing, like you see,
that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, it hasn't happened. But
all right, what do you think he should be impeached for right now?
Right now, I think the Muslim ban, it needs to be investigated. Not just with his cronies, but I'm talking about overall with an outside source, because there was news reports saying that he was going to allow exceptions because the Christians in these nations could come over, but the Muslims can't, which makes the law racial, like it makes a law illegal, and number two, it makes a law biased and racist. At that, it's religious racism. You know,
so you think how come I'm trying to paraphrase that. So you think he should be impeached for giving Christians special treatment?
Not just the Christians, but I'm saying the way the whole thing is structured. It's like, yo, if you come from these nations, right? If you're a Muslim, you can't come over. It has to be a 90-day vetting process. But at the same time, the Christians get special treatment. And also, it's not just these 7 countries that were affected. Let's look at the countries that weren't put on the list. Every time somebody brings up this stupid list, I always ask, why isn't Saudi Arabia on that list too? Well, and they have no answer. And I know why. We all know why. We all know why.
Why? Yeah. Go on.
God damn it, you know why.
Go on, please. Go on.
All right.
We're in suspense here.
All right.
It's like a book already right here.
Yeah, I know. Go ahead.
All right. It's because of
books is good.
You read it. You let me know. It's about money. That's number one. It's money. It's power, it's influence, and also he has business dealings over there in Saudi Arabia. And he has a lot of financial backers over there. So it wouldn't be a good look.
So would you say it's fair to say that he's not actually targeting Muslims then, if he's not putting those Muslims on the list?
He's targeting Muslims, but he's targeting the poor Muslims that he doesn't mess with. So it's like, damn.
Do you think, in your opinion, do you think Trump chose these countries that he targeted?
It's when you control.
I think that they said that Obama had a list too, but Obama never implemented it. So when Trump came in, I think he had his notes prior to it, but also I think Steve Bannon had a hand. They said him and Giuliani had a hand in creating this list. So we need to look at these three as the architects of this so-called ban.
It always amazes me, Bannon and them, they're all fucking crazy, but it amazes me how the news manages to spin things. Like all 7 other countries were designated security risks by Obama. the Trump administration had no hand in choosing these countries. How the ban was implemented was up to them, and it's full of fuckery. But it's amazing that the news has spun it so that you wouldn't even know that at this point if you were just reading a headline about it. It's pretty interesting.
Well, you know what the thing about it is, I haven't really watched so much news coverage on it, so I can't tell you how it's being covered in the mainstream media. But the thing about it is that, I mean, as a layperson, just watching it from the outside looking in, it's like, why wouldn't you block all these other countries that we get terrorists from? Why would you only pick these 7?
Right.
And
nobody's asking that question at all. It's like, damn.
There is an answer. These were the countries that were labeled security risks by the previous administration.
Yeah, we know, but still,
that's why it's not. Everyone wants to make it a very personal thing that Trump has done. He's actually, even though he does feel like we should ban Muslims, he's playing it very, very smart.
You mean?
has there been much coverage?
I don't think smart's the word you're looking for.
Smart's never the word for Trump to tell people. I understand.
Has there been much coverage of his puppeteers, like, you know, the Bannons and the Pences and everybody behind the scenes for him?
By the way,
not really, but the behind the scenes stuff is really spooky because it's unconfirmed. Everyone just assumes that's what's going on.
Dad, how are you going to say it's not a ban targeting Muslims when he asked the Giuliani to frame Kraftwerk in language that would legally allow them to ban Muslims?
I believe he said that verbatim, but Trump speaks. It's just how Trump talks. I mean, if you listen,
this is what Giuliani admitted in an interview.
Yeah, he's unable to ban Muslims is the point. And there's Muslim countries that aren't on the list. Can Muslims from India still fly in? Yes. How are Muslims banned again?
Actually, no. Some people did get banned from India. Actually, they got their visas revoked.
The H1, the tech guys. Fuck them.
No. First
those guys. I think it was David the Man who had a post explaining how those visas were such bullshit. How they get attached to tech companies for low wages.
Mm-hmm.
Off topic.
Oh, sorry. You brought up India.
No, but I did read that some Indians weren't able to get their visas actually by chance.
My point is, like, they aren't checking for like if you're a Canadian Muslim, you can still enter the U.S. It's not all encompassing, but yeah, sure, we'll call it a Muslim ban. Muslims are banned from America, sure.
No, but if specifically this is what they asked for, and they wanted the legal framework to avoid saying that.
Legal framework. That if he's doing it lawfully, it's disgusting but legal, right?
It's pretty fucking. I mean,
it's disgusting but legal.
It's not legal though. That's the issue, and that's what the Department of Justice said he was fired. That was her point.
So the person who's supposed to check that got fired. That's awesome.
No, but I mean, this is
Trump out here giving no fucks.
You know, I hate to rely on these types of arguments, but you know, in the context of pre-civil rights era, all of those laws were legal. But is that what you want to rely on? I mean, that's pretty awful. It's the same idea with stop and frisk. The vague language that the vague verbiage that allows you to. Same thing with the Patriot Act.
And I take it you subscribe to the slippery slope that this is going to roll downhill and hit black people too, right?
I mean, we've seen how domestic policy works, so I don't know why you would think otherwise.
Interesting.
And I'm not hardcore militant or anything like that. It's just I think it is what it is situation.
I'm really just waiting to see how it plays out. It's a temporary ban. We'll see if he makes it permanent. That'll be something else. And the Supreme Court at some point has to step in and confirm or
it might not even get to that level. I mean, I think district courts. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
A lot of times cases won't even reach the Supreme Court. They'll get handled at the district level. But we'll see.
I don't think it's I don't think implementing a vetting process is anything too crazy. I'm actually not opposed to that at all.
But
The bans are pretty funny.
It's not like it wasn't a vetting process before, though.
It wasn't a very good one, obviously.
How you can't say that though?
It wasn't a very good one.
Based on what? Trump saying?
No. In comparison to other nations, our borders are the most open.
I don't think so. I don't think that's fair at all. You think that America has weaker immigration laws than other places in the world?
I think they're loosely enforced here in America.
Our vetting processes are weaker than other countries post 9/11
Loosely enforced
for legal immigrants.
For immigration, period. Illegal and legal.
No. Illegal immigration is completely separate from legal immigration. We're talking about legal immigration. People who are vetted, people who have to get visas, green cards, etc. That's a
very good point. Like, are you a fan of that?
I mean, the problem with immigration, to me at least, in my globalist mindset, is that when America has certain policies, they're reciprocal to other nations. That's why a lot of advanced economies, we don't need a visa for 90 days for tourist purposes. But the reason that foreign workers have such a hard time coming here and vice versa is because we have these strict practices for having legal immigration. And you could say that our strict policies for legal immigration actually drive illegal immigration.
Are you a fan? I asked, are you a fan of it though?
In what context?
Do you prefer strict immigration policy, or are you pretty loose?
Depends on the context. I mean, the thing is, I think for the most part, I think advanced economies should be able to have, free movement of labor. I mean, I think that's very important for the world basically to function.
I mean, what we need though is efficient immigration policy, Because right now you apply for who knows what, it takes you like 5-6 years to get in. That's a long time.
So everyone's pretty opposed to Trump's extreme vetting process.
He's extremely vetting people from those particular countries, right?
I'm not sure if it's everyone or just them, to be honest.
Well, I know from my own experiences that, basically anywhere you're coming from, depending, actually, it's pretty broad. I mean, to, get different visas and to get different, unless you're talking about a visitor visa or a student visa, and even those can be very difficult to get. I mean, you've got to have a lot of paperwork, a significant amount of money for most countries. Like to get work visas to come here, it's extremely difficult. I mean, you have to get sponsored. They have to put up, like practically bond amounts, and you have to prove the salary and all this stuff.
And you would like it to be more lax.
Huh?
You would like it to be more lax?
In the prospect of work, yeah. Because it wouldn't just be for them, it would be for Americans to go to their countries as well.
You know what? I'm thinking we don't even need immigration, bro. Like, if we got 4% unemployment, 5% unemployment, how about we stop all immigration until we get everybody working?
That's not possible, though. It's not even realistic. And also, in an interconnected world, they've done studies that have shown, like in the UK, but also the US, high percentages of our essential staff are actually foreigners who are here on different visas. Our scientists, our doctors, our nurses, engineers, all these people that we've relied on this isn't new. This has been going on
right
since the 1960s. And, before then we just had mass immigration from Europe and post-World War II. So I mean, that's something.
One thing I've noticed when we talk about the Muslim ban is that no one seems to acknowledge, at least in their talking points, that these countries have been labeled security risks. They've been designated security risks by President Obama. He's not just like, these aren't just like peaceful countries that he's targeted.
You know what, though, in defense of the mainstream media, I feel like that particular detail doesn't have to be said. When you say Muslim country, America generally thinks security risk.
Yeah, and then when they say, well, like what 88 would say, that's bullshit, but isn't he targeting countries that he feels, obviously he's anti-Muslim, I'm saying, aren't these countries that have been designated a threat to our citizens?
Yeah, but I mean, where?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, he closed off letting them in from countries that have been designated a threat.
Yeah, I mean, that's okay. Are we a threat to those countries?
Absolutely.
But I would like to point out that people from these specific countries, and I'll go through a list just briefly. Iran, Iraq, Somalia, Yemen. Somalia, if I didn't say it before. People have been coming from those countries since, the 1970s. And those countries, they've changed drastically in that time, but in a lot of ways they haven't changed. And the security threats and the push and pull factors that they were up against, those immigrants, they haven't changed. So, we have a pretty large Iranian community in this country who fled after the Iranian Revolution. After the Somali Civil War, we have tons of Somalis in this country who came over. What security risk was there then? There's tons of Yemenis in New York, and I'm sure all over the country from their different civil wars.
So what you're trying to say is you don't feel like a security risk.
Thousands of Iraqis in this country. I mean, how are you going to ignore that? And all of a sudden it's bad? I don't buy that.
Politics, man. It's politics. Politics, money, and time.
I don't see how that's relevant.
Bro. I mean, before it used
I don't
to be
see how any of that's relevant to them being labeled security risk now.
Exactly.
But the same things that existed over the last 30 years are the same things that still exist in a lot of those countries today.
Sure, but now the intel has designated them security risk to our country. What does the past have to do with that?
And that doesn't strike you as bullshit.
I mean,
no, but the same problems that existed in those countries still exist today.
Obama seemed like a pretty good dude. If he said they were a threat to us, I'd kind of be inclined to think they may pose a threat.
What?
Yeah, Obama seemed all right. I mean, he seemed all right. You weren't an Obama fan?
No, I'm not.
It seems like you want to use Obama as a cop-out. Dad, do you want to ignore what I just said?
No, I'm asking.
Hold on.
A cop-out? Obama chose the countries. How is that a cop-out?
Hold on, though. 30 years ago, radical Islamic terrorism wasn't seen as a threat to the West. I mean, I'm talking about Europe and the U.S. It wasn't seen as much of a threat as it is now.
No, I think if you were to look, there were a lot more serious security risks in the 80s and 90s due to volatility in those regions. I mean,
do you think our country
those
was
regions were
afraid,
volatile, but they weren't aggressive towards us.
Oh no, there was waves of hijackings and I can't say that on a podcast, but involving airplanes.
Do you think Americans were as afraid of terrorism then as they are now?
I think they were a lot more sheltered from it.
Well, then things aren't the same then.
But it's in the context of basically media. So,
but either way, things aren't the same then.
But the people aren't different. The people are the deciding factor here. That's what we're basing our policy on.
Is that true? Do you think that's actually the truth, 88? Come on now.
Well, then why are we blocking individual people?
Because the American citizens feel threatened, bro, and these politicians are only trying to appease us, man, make us feel better about ourselves.
Wait, 88. You think the threat has to actually be real? Oh, we should have started with that. We've been talking past each other. The threat doesn't have to actually exist. This is politics.
I guess that's the problem.
Insane. But yeah, I think judges will strike it down. I think some will uphold it. I think the people really hurt by it are those in those sanctuary cities that I guess are all getting axed.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how it's going in Florida, but I heard it was a big deal down there.
Bruh, that shit is not a big deal down here.
Really?
It was a big deal for 2 hours, man. We don't give a fuck. Get out of here, kid.
2 hours.
Get out of here, man. It was news that day. Get out of here, man. That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of these things that are happening, I think we generally on this podcast we overestimate how much the people care. People don't care until it affects us.
Right.
I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens with the sanctuary city thing. I mean, they can fight tooth and nail. I mean, I like people are saying in the thread. I mean, do you really expect Florida with their governor to really give a fuck? No. But New York State, on the other hand, I mean, they have the money, they have the lawyers to do it. Same with California.
Yeah, but that's not how it went down. Like the sanctuary city thing, man, it's city by city. Like the governor doesn't really have anything to do with it. Like when that happened, when he announced that, and the mayor of Miami was all like, "Oh yeah, you know what? 100%. I'm with you, Donald. You know, keep that federal funding coming." And you know, he got some backlash from the constituency. But like I said, man, like a couple hours later, nobody cared anymore. It was not in the news the next day. That was it.
Because they stay on code. They know deep inside that a lot of them are still illegal, so it affects them too, don't it? If Trump really wanted to come down there and say, "Yo, we're gonna deport all the illegals," that includes the Cubans and the Haitians, and all the Cubans that still don't have their papers, they gotta go, no matter what.
But logically, man, you can't get mad at that what he said, because like as far as I understand it, anybody that's in prison or jail or whatever that's not legal, you know, you can't stay here.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about there was a thing I was reading on a Coli today about even if you have a green card, if you're a regular legal citizen, you could be deported anyway. They were saying shit like that.
I remember that one.
There's a lot of fake news out there.
Well, that's not fake news, Doug.
That's not fake. Yeah,
there's a lot of fake news out there, so you can't just say, "Well, I heard this or I heard that."
No, I mean it was on the Coli. It was saying that Trump is looking into it. Not saying he was doing it.
He was rumored to be going after gays next, and then you hear there's a lot of threads going up saying about what he might do.
Out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of threads saying what he might do.
Dead though. So explain people coming to the U.S. with green cards and visas being detained or deported at the airports. That happened.
Yeah,
it's getting better, man.
I understand, and from what I've read in the actual bill, it's a case-by-case basis. I think that's actually written in the order that it's a case-by-case basis.
So you're fine with them deporting legal residents who have already been vetted?
I'd have to look at the case-by-case. I have to look at the case and see why they were deported.
It's pretty flimsy, Dead.
Case-by-case,
that is some bullshit. That is some bullshit.
I'm with that, man. It really is case-by-case basis, man. Because I mean, just because you're legal don't mean that you're not crazy. I mean, look at this kid that shot up the airport in Fort Lauderdale. He a crazy person. It's because he got papers and maybe we can't get rid of him.
What are you talking? The guy who shut up the airport was like a U.S. Marine or some shit.
Exactly. So it's because he's legal. I mean, we can't ship him out somewhere.
Yeah, no.
Why we got to treat handle him with kid gloves because he got paperwork?
The most they could do is put him in a black site or something. That's it.
All right, cool. So you want to be in the black site, or you want to get deported to your country and be happy?
If he's an American citizen, where are you going to deport him to?
A black site.
Yeah, well, see, that's
a case-by-case basis. I don't know.
Yeah, what they need to start doing is telling all these white citizens that going around shooting all these churches, you fuck up, we're deporting your ass to a black site. Period.
Well, I mean, this dude getting killed anyway.
Yeah. They're gonna be like, well, I want to die. Don't deport me to no black site. I ain't mean to kill those black people. Well, no, you meant it, so you gotta go.
Dad, are you fine with assassinating American citizens? Or is that a case-by-case basis too?
Case-by-case basis.
Case-by-case basis,
I'm
man.
with it.
Case-by-case basis. You're an American citizen. You hijack a plane and fly it into a building. I think we should shoot you down.
Case-by-case basis, man.
Case-by-case basis.
That's not an assassination, though.
Well, if you're,
you know what's funny? The only problem with the whole assassination thing is that they never really get the person on the first try. Like, it's like it's always messy. It's always messy, or they already killed the kid over there in what, Afghanistan or what
Yemen.
The little girl. They already tried to get the father and they killed the little girl by accident. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, how can you not do like hire an assassin to do it right? If you can't do it right, don't do it at all. Let me ask you
a question. Were you as upset when we were droning Muslims as you are about banning them from traveling here?
Case by case.
I didn't tell him, man. Why you mad, man?
This nigga.
This nigga, yeah. Oh, let me get my camera on, Smiley. Right I was just like, man, like people were not completely silent, but they were pretty quiet. We were killing Muslims, but now that they can't travel here temporarily, it's the end of the world. It's pretty funny.
No, I mean, I think people were pretty upset when throughout the last 8 years, and also during Bush's term, when we were using drones or we were using targeted killing. I mean,
people were pretty warm to Obama though, and he was actually killing them. No,
but there were a lot of stories in the press about the number of collateral damage and the lies that the State Department was telling and everything. I mean, it got tempered a lot, but it was very apparent what was happening around the world. And, I don't think the Coli is very loud about it. I mean, some people are, but I mean, how many threats can we make about there's a fucking drone strike every fucking other hour?
Right.
The drone thing under Obama was not really a big deal in the media, man.
No, but
it did though. It did get a lot of coverage. I mean, they were calling
anything close to a temporary ban on their movement. It didn't get anywhere close to this.
I think you're playing with two different, very.
I am. He stopped them. Trump stopped immigration. Obama killed them. Yes, there are two very different things.
Mm-hmm. But both of them are equally important things. Whoa. I mean, one is dealing with freedom of movement, which is pretty much the idea of our country. The other is like what we've simplified to killing terrorists. I mean, that's a whole different ballgame. One is very palatable for whatever reason. The other is like, I mean, that's kind of grabbing at your core of basically your society. And both are bad, obviously. Our country was built on the basis of immigration. And I guess if you want to argue, our country was also built on the basis of war. So you can see why the later is much more easily palatable, I guess. I don't know.
But you know what? Regardless, because I mean, we wouldn't be the first country to have tough immigration laws or whatever. I mean, most of the countries in Europe have tough immigration laws. So why are we up in arms like this about it?
I think it was the way it was implemented. Like,
and like, it's a temporary ban too. It's not even like he permanently put this in
90
place.
days though.
Yeah, 90 days. That's the end of the world. 90 days.
That's like what? 3 months?
But in the context
of written in that it was a temporary ban, only 90 days.
He banned them for a semester, and it's the end of the world.
But it's still 90 days is still a long time, though. I mean, because
nah.
No. I mean, think about it. You got people who
90 days turns to 90 years. That's the thing.
Yeah, true. And then plus, you got people who run businesses, have jobs. You're fucking with their money, man. It's not right.
Yeah. The thing is, guys, if you didn't work for 90 days, realistically, most people would lose their house, their car, everything. So, I mean, you can't say 90 days isn't a big deal. And especially in the context, if these people are refugees fleeing a hostile government. I mean, we have conventions that we've signed where we have to, by law, take refugees. Whether the white Americans like that or not, that's a reality.
I hope Trump pulls out all of those. Fuck that shit. Hope he pulls out all of that.
That'd be a great look for our country.
Who cares about the look of our country? All the other world powers don't give a fuck. China, Russia. Why are we holding ourselves? It's a disadvantage for us to try to uphold an
Russia. They're fucking like autocratic dictatorships, both of them.
And so are we now.
Yeah, so are we.
You guys seem pretty willing to just bend.
It's I think we do too much helping and too much good in the world and not enough here in the States.
We could very well do both. It doesn't.
But we don't. We don't. The CEO's not offering 10,000 jobs to fucking vets or blacks or anyone here. Syrian refugees specifically.
That's such bullshit, Dead, and you know it.
It's true. It's true.
It's very hard for vets to get jobs in this country. Come on.
But here's the thing: you got these companies, the Starbucks company. What the whole thing about? I'm offering refugees jobs. Like, how come the refugees got jobs? But
it's so PC to specifically target benefits at other minority groups, but not blacks. You can't just say, I'm just hiring blacks, 10,000 blacks for a job. That never happens.
Yep.
Well, I think if you said specifically black people, it would probably lead to some issues. But,
probably.
Maybe it's because of where I live, but in New York, and I'm sure it's the same in your cities if you guys look. They have programs and these huge corporate sponsors who specifically target
in California,
whatever fucking bullshit.
Minorities. It's always minorities. It's never specifically blacks.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the problem. It's always minorities, so they can say.
So you want to be specifically catered to them?
Yes.
No.
100%. Yes.
You guys want it both ways. You want it both ways.
No. Here's the thing. Let me explain.
If they do that, they're belittling us, and you fucking.
No, let me explain. The fact of the matter remains. When they say minority, they do not exclusively mean black or Hispanic. They mean either or Asian, white woman, Indian, anybody that they deem appropriate. But it's never like I'm gonna hire a black guy because he's on the top of the list. It's I'm a hire. Maybe I'll passively aggressively hire me a white woman because she qualifies as a minority. See what I'm saying?
It doesn't work that way though.
It does. That's what most businesses do.
No.
Yes. They'll say to hire an Indian because he's a minority. I'm filling in my quota.
No, but there's specific federal programs that target low-income people or people who are receiving government benefits.
Yeah, and how many programs are going to exist when Trump is in the White House now? From what I heard, he's trying to gut them anyway.
I don't know. I mean, it all depends. But the whole purpose of these corporate sponsorships are specifically to uplift the communities that they're very active in. What corporate
sponsorships? I've never heard of these corporate sponsorships. If they do exist, they don't exist for black people's benefits. They exist for I'm gonna fill a quota, so they'll get the East Indian, Asian.
That's bullshit.
Filipino. It's true. It's true.
Based on what?
What do you mean based on what? Look at Silicon Valley. You don't see any of these tech companies. I'll never hear any of these tech companies going up to Oakland. They don't ever go to Oakland and say we're gonna hire so and so black people, so and so Asian people.
That doesn't happen anywhere though.
But you just said they're federal programs, right? For
what you're specifically saying. Listen to what I'm saying, man. There's tons of multinational corporations, specifically banks, because I live in New York. That specifically hire people from the inner city, which are predominantly blacks.
Name them.
Every other fucking race. I don't see the problem.
Name them. Name them.
Anyways, the point is they need to help people here in the country before we start reaching out trying to help everyone, and we haven't done a good job of doing both.
You know what he's doing. Look, for example,
both is to ignore how we failed at doing it over the past few decades.
Doing what?
Helping people here at home and abroad.
Yeah.
Like, you can't open the doors to Syrians and offer them shelter and jobs when we have places like Detroit and Flint, Michigan. You just can't do that. It just doesn't. No, absolutely not. I'm actually with Trump.
I think it's too self-centered.
We need to be more self-centered.
I don't buy into that.
I think America's crumbling from within, and we need to really, really be more self-centered for at least the next 8.
And what's that going to get us?
Hopefully it'll strengthen our core, because right now apparently Americans are having a hard time even getting clean drinking water in some states. It's things are bad here at home.
Okay, so you'll admit that, but then the party that you like to shill for is gonna what? Get rid of the EPA, cut 2-for-1 regulations. Where's the executive order for Trump? Where's the executive order to fix the water?
That, well, I'm hoping that comes.
Are we just going to, just say, well, maybe it'll happen? See in 8 years. I think that's kind of setting yourself up for failure. When you look at what they've done historically,
you can't play party politics because the poisoning happened under the other party. I mean, under the Democrats, the poisoning happened.
This
Obama
was
didn't do anything
by the governor of Michigan. He knew, and it was told ahead of time what would happen. Then they suppressed the information with their internal environmental protection agency. They lied to the federal watchdogs, and then when they were finally caught, they just acted dumb.
Yeah,
that's the reality of what happened in Flint, Michigan. So let's not pass the
you know
buck.
what's funny? Nobody's putting them in jail. They only putting the cronies in jail, but they don't put the big dogs in jail either. And if I was in Flint, I'd let them know, like, yo, you don't put him in jail, we're gonna kill him straight up and down.
I mean, that's obviously Michigan is extremely fucking corrupt, and
Yeah,
I think most states are, and I think most state governments are, and I think that's what's going on. But when we have this new administration here, which we're supposed to look up to, and all this bullshit, look at the people that they're putting in charge of these head agencies. There's going to be no checks and balances, guys.
My point is, why would you expend so much outwardly when you're crumbling internally?
Because it's been shown that, and you yourself will be the first to admit it, they're not good at it.
No,
State governments aren't good at it. Federal governments aren't good at it, Dad. You're the libertarian here, buddy. Don't act like all of a sudden everything's changed.
No, but getting rid of those agencies wasn't on the table until Trump, and we'll see how far he goes.
Okay, you get rid of those agencies, then who's supposed to fix the problem? The church? Private business?
I believe Trump
That's what they say.
I believe Trump's going to privatize a lot of that. I think you got to just assume he's a businessman and he's going to look to the private sector to fix a lot of these things. I think that's kind of unsaid, but it's what's coming.
Yeah, we've seen where that leads.
That we're going to see again. Definitely going to see again.
So basically, instead of watching Iraq from afar, we can watch America at home when contractors rob us blind.
Well, we're that's already kind of happening. We'll see. It's like the things that you fear have been going on for so long.
I just think when you expect a different outcome, that's basically insanity.
It's going to be different this time, 88.
I'm not going to hold my breath, but
bro, I've never seen that so fucking optimistic about something before. Get the fuck out of here, Dad.
I am, man. I really, you know what? This is the first time there's been a shakeup in the government, like an actual shakeup where no one knows what the fuck's going on. Like, it's beautiful. It's fucking beautiful.
Norman said something, man. Norman, and I agree with that shit, dog. Because like, he said that if he wasn't playing, he would have killed. He'll fucking kill himself. And I'm like, yo.
No, if my kid was poisoned, that's what needs to happen. Because it's like,
but that's what I'm getting at. You're right in the sense that somebody has to hold them accountable, right? They're not going to jail, so somebody got to hold them accountable. I bet they'll do their job, but their life was at risk.
Yeah, pretty much.
We got to get that third world mentality in him, man. We need that third world. We got to turn this into a real third world over here.
I'm a firm believer that things have to get worse before they get better.
I agree with that.
Everything's on the table, and Trump hasn't done anything yet. That's really made me go, oh fuck. If he sends troops into Chicago, that's going to be an oh fuck moment. But it hasn't happened yet.
Even that wouldn't be an oh fuck moment to me. What are you going to do in Chicago?
No, that would be a oh fuck moment.
Why? What do you expect them to do? Essentially, Chicago, and what's going to happen?
I can't say anything like that because I've already argued for it in some threads. So I got. I can't get on the podcast and say the exact opposite. So I'm just gonna say, we'll wait and see, man. We'll wait and see how it happens.
It's real political of you.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do to keep threads going, man. Spice it up a little. You gotta spice things up a little bit. The board leans way too left. Way too left. Obnoxiously to the left. Like it's insane. Too many 88s.
Not enough sheep.
Wow. The Security Council meetings, Bannon.
Oh boy. There we go.
That's a little troubling. You work at Homeland. What have you heard said about that?
I don't work. I do work out, but I'm just a grunt. I don't know any of the people in these corporate offices.
I'm asking you what you've heard, man. Just what's We
don't talk politics at our job. We just don't, because people gonna start fist fighting at our job.
You work for the government.
Still no one talks into that website?
Huh?
Is Bannon still into his website and like doing all the blogging and stuff like that?
No, I don't think so.
No, I think he gave it to somebody else.
But he got the ear, right? They still report to him and shit like that.
Maybe.
Because I feel like if he has this access now, all this shit gonna come out on that blog side of his, man.
No, I don't think he'd do that. He wants to be behind the scenes, just pulling strings. I don't think he wants. This is him. This is his show now.
It's funny how much of a macho egomaniac Trump was painted as, and now he's just a puppet to everyone. It's crazy how the media spins him left to right. Like, it's.
Well, I think he can be used to that means though. I guess that's what matters. I mean, he is
bro. Get the fuck out of here.
I think Trump's running the show 100%.
Nah.
I think so.
He doesn't know it. He doesn't understand enough of what the fuck's going on to be running the show 100%.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone there knows anything. Sessions got approved. That's crazy.
But
are you happy about that or no?
I'm happy about that.
I'm actually happy about it, but it's just crazy that the DNC is really helpless out here. I don't even know.
The DNC didn't have the votes to block him. That he was going to get appointed no matter what.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. They're just out here just throwing fits. Like, they really need to be. I think someone might have said it last week. I think it was 80. They need to really start a grassroots effort to really rebuild a party.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I feel like the left is just attacking themselves right now, and I mean, what they have to be attacking is Republican policy and trying to build a better platform. There's nothing that they can do. I mean, their constituents are having a fit, which rightfully they should, because it's troubling. But they can't expect to be able to block these people. They can't do it without the Republicans. The Republicans don't give a fuck. This is what they crafted. This is their master plan of what they want. They want to get rid of unions. They want to, stop immigration, and we can, all become 1800-esque and all that good stuff. And they don't have anyone to lean on. And it's not only their fault as a party. I mean, I've gone over why the country's in the shape it is. But
looking at the DNC now, do you think Trump gets reelected?
I think 2020 will be a real litmus test to where the party's at internally and what kind of grassroots and on the ground movement they have. I mean, one of the real problems is the gerrymandering and ID laws and all that other stuff. That's the crux of the issue here. Until those can get addressed, they're going to be in some real trouble. So, whatever they do on the ground, it's going to have to be pretty impressive. And the Republicans, Democrats and the left and, anyone who wasn't supporting Trump, they really dropped the ball with this election. The Supreme Court seat is what it is. And they didn't play to win, apparently. And, a lot of it was out of their control. I think a lot of bullshit happened. The Voting Rights Act getting cut into pieces. You have these southern states who they closed polling stations and predominantly minority areas and cities.
Yeah, voting. But we're still making excuses for Hillary, man.
This is your democratic process that you guys are supposed to care about. But if only party politics matters, that's kind of sad.
I hope Donald Trump makes it so that there's no parties anymore. So there's no more Republican, no more Democrat. It's just you vote for who you vote for, man. It's a name on the list.
My question is they even going to be in America after he goes? Because I'm like the way he's doing now, it's like, damn, it's just going on a downslide. Everything he's doing is just bad news. Damn, he don't have anything positive. There's nothing positive with this motherfucker. Every time
I know Spanish.
every time I just turn, I go to the internet or I'll be on my phone or I go on Facebook. It's just negative. It's nothing positive with this dude at all. Period.
Well, that's also the media too at work there too.
No. It's not just the media. It be shit that he be just saying and doing. It's just negative. Like how you gonna try to tell Australia I don't want to deal with no fucking refugees and hang up on the prime minister? Are you serious right now? You telling the president of Mexico, if you don't deal with the cartels, I'm gonna send troops over and we're gonna deal with them personally, all right? And then he's gonna hang up on them. Like, are you serious right now? That's a threat. You don't threaten a prime minister. You don't threaten another president. And even if they can't do anything, they can still fuck with your shit. I can tell people, even if they don't have nukes, motherfuckers will still fuck with your shit. They'll close your factories. They'll stop doing business with you. They'll fuck up your contacts. They'll fuck with you in the UN. If shit could go.
I think he's gonna pull out of the UN. Actually, I think.
I know. I'm not just about the UN. I'm just talking about the fact of the matter is, if you're turning these states into enemies, all the enemies could gang up on you. The fact of the matter is, U.S. has not had a good coalition of like-minded allies in a long time. The only ally they really have is Israel, and we pay them. And basically that's it. That's all we do is pay them for nothing.
Yeah, America.
We have no allies. We have no allies.
What you talking about, man? Under Obama, everybody was our ally, bro.
Yeah, under Obama.
We're certainly isolating ourselves a lot right now.
I would say we are. It is what it is, dog.
Unless you're talking about actual war, the whole allies thing is overrated. Like, what are they going to do?
What about trade, then? What about trade?
Okay, what are they going to do specifically, trade-wise? They're going to impose tariffs on us?
They'll do the same thing. They'll treat us the same way that we treat them.
Okay, fine. We don't need them.
Yeah, I don't think there's an economy in the world.
It doesn't work that way. He's going to implode the fucking economy.
I don't think they can really fight the U.S. economically. Yeah, I guess if they all pull together,
they don't have to fight economically.
But
all these corporations reciprocate what we're doing to them, Dad.
All these businesses that do business,
raising tariffs.
You fuck up the chain of supply for goods in the country. It's gonna affect us.
I think you guys are really overestimating the economy of these countries. Really overestimating how much they need America's market. Like we
still need their goods.
Make a threat on that.
We still do need their goods.
We don't
think
know. We buy so much
America-
crap that we don't need, though. We
How
don't
can
need
you
to do
say
that.
true.
that?
It's true, but I think the ability of the U.S. to pay a higher price is greater than their ability to go without being able to sell to us. I think we're just going to win. If it's a war of attrition, they can't beat us.
I don't think
They
they
don't-
have to. They don't have to
They
beat
don't
us.
have to beat us. but think about all the corporations, the American corporations that do business straight in Mexico. Think about
Mexico's going to
all
fold. You guys keep
Mexico.
acting
Yeah,
like
yeah. I'm not saying they won't. I'm just saying that it's going to be a bad look because guess what? You can't just march armies over the border and motherfuckers are out there doing, okay. I mean try to make an analogy. Say what's this car company, GM, they have a Ford plant in Mexico, right? Say if the Mexican government be like, listen, this is an American company, we don't want you on our land no more, we're gonna close down shop, y'all gonna go back to America, we're gonna kick everybody out, we're gonna shut down the plant altogether, period. And that's it. Now what's the American what's the American government gonna do about it?
Bro, we don't gotta do shit about it.
I don't
Why do we
think
have to
it'll come to that level, but when America starts bullying, basically all of our neighbors and our trade partners, the world's going to pull back from us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And we laugh about Mexico. Well, next thing we know, it'll be Japan or South Korea or Indonesia or Europe.
Japan is a country that actually needs us. They're not self-sufficient. They actually don't have the resources to sustain themselves on that island.
Yeah,
Though their
about
population
Japan.
is dwindling, so who knows? That might not be true anymore. They're actually, but
Japan is fine. I'm talking about what about the iPhones? China. They come from where? Think about how many iPhones are gonna be fucked up. How many?
And the most important thing here, what's the end game in doing all of this? The jobs aren't coming back, so what's the actual end game in starting all these trade wars?
The jobs might come back though. If the shit gets expensive enough overseas, it might as well make it over here.
if the cost of doing business is the same here or there, he's right.
Yeah.
And then we'll have what, hyperinflation in our country? Awesome.
No, it wouldn't be hyperinflation. We just can't all afford all the bullshit that we want.
No, it doesn't.
I think right now the strong dollar.
TV, you get a 25-inch TV. That's what you can afford. Okay.
I think they're all being punished by the strong dollar right now. Anyway, I think you're giving these economies a lot of credit that you shouldn't be in terms of being able.
I hope that's the outcome, Dad, but I'm not that convinced right now. I think our economy is in a very precarious state, and I think if we run around pushing buttons like we love to, we're gonna end up really fucking ourselves over, and there's no reason for it. This is like we're looking for a self-inflicted L right now,
and Trump is gonna give it to you.
I think if he was doing this with if he was doing this with like a Germany or someone, I'd agree with you. But Mexico, come on.
It's just gonna escalate. He's already made, he said to Germany was fucking around with the price of something yesterday. That happened yesterday.
But if it's true, am I supposed to get mad at that man?
Right.
We're fucking with our biggest trade partners and military allies.
Bro, I'm not gonna get mad at him for calling out people for fucking up. Like, I'm for messing with the prices of things. Like when he called out China for their whatever it's called.
Basically, you're mad at Trump for keeping it 100. Yeah, he called him out.
What's the end game in this, guys?
Yeah, we gotta lay all the cards on the table, man. Everybody be honest, dog.
So just to be clear, you think Germany should get a pass because of who they are and shouldn't?
Fuck Germany. Blow them up too.
Who's this we? Why does everybody keep saying we? That's what they doing. I'm trying to get out this motherfucker. For real.
Well,
I'm trying to get my money in 2 years.
Be gone too.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to get when the bombs start falling, I'm gonna tell all the white neighbors, hey, you voted for this motherfucker. So you gonna have to deal with this. When the Russians come or the Chinese come or anybody or the aliens come, and when they drop in your backyard, I'm gonna be like, listen, I tried to warn you. And you voted for him. So you're gonna get this work. Bye. And that's it.
So, bro, I really hope there isn't a world war. That would be so savage.
Yeah, that would be the worst case scenario.
That would just be terrible. I don't think it'll come to that. I really think people are just very dramatic right now because the changes are so swift.
Now, Bannon is already trying to start a war with China. From what I read just now.
No one wants a war with another nuclear power. That's all just show.
Bannon does. Bannon loves to fuck with people. He said
nuclear war doesn't benefit anyone.
It doesn't benefit anybody, but he's like, oh, I'm survival of the fittest. White power. White power? Who gives a fuck? But you know what's funny? How does Bannon, a guy who works at Breitbart, comes from Breitbart ownership and automatically gets a council on the National Security Council with a like to the highest levels of government? I mean, it's just mind-boggling to me.
It's not mind-boggling.
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah, America's built on white supremacy. How's it mind-boggling? I'm not surprised.
I'm just saying, it's like, and then when shit goes left, they're gonna be wondering why are we in this situation.
America,
I'm gonna point right to them.
The racism is systemic. Everyone tries to focus on the actors. Like, I'm not surprised by it one bit. The entire system is white supremacy.
So real shit, though. How racist is your co-owner?
Co-worker?
Best co-owner.
He's actually not. He actually only dates black girls, but that doesn't mean anything. But that doesn't mean anything. You can still be racist. Don't let that fool you. But he's not that racist. I mean, it's kind of off-putting because he's like a really big Wu-Tang fan. So it's very weird. It's very weird to really call, but I fuck with him all the time. There's a lot of
I bet you let him say the N-word around you and everything, huh? I bet you his nigga, huh?
No, we not cool like that. Matter of fact, but that's an interesting point because there'll be like if it's in a rap song and he's rapping along, he'll actually say it. Those I do have those weird moments like, huh? That happened. That happened. But I mean, in business though, at this point, I have to just see green. I gotta just see green at this point. Like,
oh hell no, man! You might as well put some tap shoes on.
No, you know what?
You're supposed to be a militant.
Oh well, you know. If it comes to that, that's not a tale. I gotta get my chips. Fuck y'all. Fuck y'all niggas, I'm out.
All right.
I'm hopefully this year I'm set to break 100 for the first time in life. It's good. It's looking
good looks.
I'm feeling good, man. I know that's nothing to the 6 certs, guys on the Coli, but I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm pretty happy.
Though, man. That comes out to being like 20 grand anywhere else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like I'm basically poor compared to you guys with your Bentleys. I'm feeling pretty good, and I hear a lot of racist shit on a regular basis. But you know what? They're lining my pockets. Mm-hmm. Yeah, all right. Tap.
Damn, where the hell you work?
No, I just own a bar, but it's doing very well.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm trying to get out my job now. So
what do you do?
At me like,
talk about it. Homeland Security.
Me? Yeah. I'm just a worker. I'm just a regular guy.
No, but real shit, no, man. Plug your book.
Okay. The book. Okay. The book is called The Origin of Aaron Jackson. It's on Amazon and Google Books right now, and I'm working on the second one, which should be out by summertime. And the third and the fourth one is right behind it.
Quick synopsis. What's it about? Quick synopsis.
Oh man, it's a long synopsis.
Don't give us the long one.
Okay,
is
basically,
it fiction, non-fiction.
It's a work of fiction. It's work of fiction. Black guy, young mechanic, martial artist, gets in trouble with the mob. Basically, he goes to war with them, and basically, it's very bloody, very violent.
It's a good book, good crime mystery, action adventure type shit.
Did you have help?
What do you mean?
Did anyone help you write it?
No. Why would?
What's it called one more time?
The Origin of Aaron Jackson. You could Google it. It's everywhere on the internet. And I have a T-shirt company starting soon. Called Aaron Jackson. Shopify. So it'll be up online soon. That too.
Aaron with 2 A's or 2 A's?
2 A's, yeah.
Aaron.
Yeah, AARON.
Shopify shirt shop. Huh? Look at you, entrepreneur nigga.
I cannot find this shit.
I'm
dog.
trying. Huh?
I can't find it in Google Books, man. I'm gonna look for it though.
Yeah, it's on Amazon. Like Google Books, I had to reload it on CreateSpace, so it was on Google Books, so they might have to reload itself.
Oh, okay.
But it's on Amazon right now. Amazon officially on Amazon. It's on Kindle and Amazon as far as physical.
That's crazy. You actually write novels. That's crazy. I don't think I know a writer.
Yeah, I'm trying to parlay that into an animated show too, but that's gonna take time.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Thanks, man.
All right, gentlemen. I think we're gonna wrap it up this week, right?
Yeah, take it easy, guys.
Later.
I see you guys, man.
Yes, later.